Welcome and thank you for joining us for our Fridays at First podcast. My name is Richard Gibbons. I'm a member of the pastoral staff at First Presbyterian Church in downtown Greenville here in sunny South Carolina. This week I have watched in stunned surprise as a late winter storm marched across the eastern United States and brought dangerously high winds and significant rain to the Greenville area. Across the nation, thousands of flights were cancelled, 36 inches of snow fell in the Midwest, and January-like temperatures arrived on East Main. All of this makes it hard to believe that Easter will be with us in just over 2 weeks. Amidst the unseasonal weather chaos, your intrepid Fridays at First correspondent felt I had gotten through the week unscathed, until I received a text from the lovely Miss Ruth. It was, in fact, a blank text. When I asked why it was blank, she informed me that it was because she was not talking to me. I suspect I'm in trouble. Thinking of all things Easter, our Sunday schedule to begin Holy Week begins on Palm Sunday, March 29th. Our worship services will take place at our regularly scheduled times as we celebrate Christ's triumphant entry into Jerusalem, complete with joyful music and hymns, and the children are participating in a Palm processional. On Maundy Thursday, April 2nd, we will host a communion service at 7 in the evening in the main sanctuary. If you have not managed to attend this service in previous years, please add this to your calendar. It is one of the most moving services of the entire Easter season as we commemorate the death of Christ at Calvary. Easter Sunday will take place, of course, a few days later on April 5th, and we have multiple services throughout the morning. The first one begins at 8 a.m. in the sanctuary, followed by a second service at 9:15 Worship and Arts Centre, then 9:30 in the sanctuary, 10:45 Worship and Arts Centre, and our final service is 11 o'clock in the main sanctuary. Please consider inviting a family member or friend to join you at any of these services. I suspect it will be a memorable experience for everyone as we celebrate the wonder of the resurrection. Nursery care and classes for K5 and under are available during each service. Additional information is available at firstpreseaster.com. Over the years, as so many of you know, we have erected several decorated flower crosses across our campus for families to have their Easter photographs taken. We will do so again this year. Photographers will be available after each service at 3 locations. Number 1, outside the sanctuary at the corner of Richardson and Washington. Number 2, outside the intersection coffee shop close to the choir door. And number 3, the Sturgis gathering area on the second floor of the new building. You will receive a card once you have your photograph taken with a QR code to download your free digital photos. These images provide a lovely memory of the joy of Easter Sunday. And finally, relating to all things Easter, and this is a brand new initiative for us, if you wish to register to use the zip line from the Richardson Street garage, I will include an Easter QR code next week, or alternatively, you can register at Easter/events at fpc.com. As you are already gathering, Easter is a busy Sunday for us. And to facilitate a welcoming environment for many of our guests visiting, we require 250 volunteers to serve as parking hosts, greeters and ushers. The only requirement is a welcoming smile. 3 shifts are available to accommodate you and your family attending one of the 5 services. If you can help, please register at firstpresgreenville.org/events. Continuing to plan the rest of the month of April and look beyond Easter, this year our Great Alaska Sporting Clay Classic takes place on Friday, April the 10th 8:30 in the morning to early afternoon at the Clinton House in Clinton here in South Carolina. This is a fundraising event for the ministry of Stephen and Natalie Hall, First Pres members, who have served with SEND, a global mission agency, for over 20 years. You can register at send.org/GASCC. Let me say that again, send.org/ then spell out the letters GASCC, or contact Stephen Hall at shall@send.org. And finally, New Member Weekend is coming up, and if you know someone who has been worshipping with us for the last few months and are considering making First Pres their new church home, our next New Member Weekend will take place on Friday evening, Saturday morning, April 10 and 11. Childcare is available for children aged 5 and under. For details, contact Tiffany Boggs, tboggs@firstpresgreenville.org. Alternatively, you can register at firstpresgreenville.org/events. This week, I am joined once again by everyone's favourite co-host, Michelle Ward. Michelle, welcome. And Michelle has two guests with her this week, the church's financial guru, Bobby Hoffman, and Bobby has brought with him the ubiquitous Rick Sturgis. Bobby, Rick, Michelle, great to have you with us.
Well, thank you so much, Richard, and happy Friday, everyone. As Richard mentioned, I am here with Bobby Hoffman, who is the Development Director with the First Presbyterian Church Foundation, as well as Rick Sturgis, who is our board chair with the foundation. Welcome, Bobby and Rick.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all so much for being here with us today. I'm not sure if our listeners really understand what and who the foundation at First Presbyterian Church, what it is. So really, Bobby, if you could kind of just start us off by letting our listeners know, give us a little bit of an explanation about the foundation.
Thank you, Michelle. The First Presbyterian Church Foundation is a separate 501c3,
okay,
but we are affiliated with the church. So all our board members are members of the church. They're covenant partners.
Okay.
And the things we believe in come from the essential tenets of our church and our denomination. So while we are separate, we're very closely affiliated with it. So when people give to the foundation, they are supporting some of the ministries within the church,
right,
because some of the endowments we have support ministries within the church, and then we also support ministries outside the church, both
right,
locally, nationally, and internationally.
Okay, that's a great explanation.
And I'd like to add into that, for those that might have a concern about this, our session approves the nominees for the board of directors each year. So while we are separate, the First Presbyterian Church has a lot of influence on who serves.
Absolutely, and it's an amazing board. I've had the opportunity to meet everybody, and big hearts and caring people. And I love it, too, because like you said, it's supporting many of the things that do exist here at First Presbyterian Church, but it's also being the hands and feet of Jesus by taking it outside of our walls into this community and also internationally. I've had the privilege of traveling with Rick to the Dominican Republic. My boys and I did a couple of years ago. And Rick, tell us a little bit. We'll start kind of internationally and globally, and then we'll come back local for a minute. But tell us a little bit about our partnerships and how the foundation supports the folks over in La Romana.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that it's such a privilege for me to serve on the foundation because my father and my parents, who were covenant partners for many years, my father helped to start the foundation back in the early 90s.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And so I feel like I'm standing on his shoulders.
You are.
And so I was excited when I got asked to participate in the foundation. So
absolutely.
Thank you for letting me share a personal story.
Yeah, that's kind of a legacy. That's legacy living. Gosh, that's so cool.
Definitely legacy living. And anyway, and their names were Bill and Martha Beth Sturgis, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So,
I bet a lot of our listeners probably remember them.
yeah. Yep. So, from the Dominican Republic standpoint, this foundation has blessed in so many ways, and I hesitate to even list it because I'm sure I'll leave something out. But
Right.
one of the big things that I'll just kind of focus on that the foundation did long before I was ever asked to be on the foundation or even thought of, or dreamed about it,
Right.
was there's a particular area that we've been working in called Breezes Del Mar.
Yeah.
Ocean Breezes
Yes.
that you went
I've
to.
been there. It's
while
amazing.
you were
Yeah.
there, and we've been working in that area for 16 years, and it's a very poor barrio
Yeah.
right outside
Yeah.
the city of La Romana, and we just had a heart for those people for a very long time.
Yeah.
There historically hasn't been a lot going on there, but there's more and more, and I'd like to think that our church has
Yes.
a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
In fact, we just the foundation just helped us get a medical clinic started there.
Yeah.
That is now operating. They just got their license from the government yesterday, as a
Oh,
matter
how
of fact. So we're
cool.
really, really excited about that. And it's a kingdom business.
Yes.
That's run by one of our church ministry partners called Eastern Dominican Christian Mission.
Yes.
And the financial results out of there will help support church planning in the Eastern Dominican. But early on, we had a desire to see a church planted there.
Yes.
And so we went to the foundation and proposed that up to a maximum of $40,000 that we would raise $40,000
Sure.
and ask the foundation to match us, which
Right.
they did.
Yeah.
And so now there is first it started out as a Thursday evening Bible study,
Yeah.
and quickly filled up, and now there's a church there with a full-time pastor,
Yep.
and the church is full.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Every
yeah.
Sunday. So
Yeah.
we're really proud of that.
Well, as you should be. And I love, Rick, that you're serving there, and you can bring that right back here to, the folks here on our board, and obviously just allowing people, not everybody can get on an airplane and travel. So, it's great for people to understand that when they do give, they are actually being a part of that mission
100%.
without even having to leave the house,
And I also like to mention that Bobby and Priscilla went probably. It wasn't our first year, but it was in our first 3 years. So
Yeah.
they've served there before too.
It is so, and if you can travel, I would highly recommend. We do a medical trip, and then we do have our youth going back. My son Weston says it's the best trip of his life, and he can't wait to go back this summer. But yeah, it's a really cool thing to be a part of, and you just kind of come back a little bit different. Just so grateful, and also just moved by the people there as well. So
I hear people say, and I know we need to move on and talk about the foundation, but I do hear people say that you go down to serve, but you come back feeling like you got served.
Oh, for sure.
So.
For sure. I know it is you're so full when you get back. Well, that's great. Well, thank you, Rick, for all that you do for the board and for the international part of it. And Bobby, that kind of brings us back to, that's one way that folks can support the foundation, but what are the different ways? What are the options? Let's just say that I'm coming in and I said, Bobby, I've got money I want to give to you guys. I trust that you all are going to steward it the right way because of, obviously the tie-in with First Pres and the beliefs of how God wants us to use our money or his money. What are some options that you might give me?
We've got a number of different endowments.
Okay.
So that people we can talk to them, find out where their heart is for a
Right.
certain area of ministry, and then try to steward that money into an endowment that would help honor that.
I love that.
So it may be, we've got an unrestricted endowment, we've got an international missions endowment, we've got a fine arts endowment, counseling endowment, a maintenance endowment,
that's
a number of
wonderful.
youth endowment,
Academy, yeah.
So music. So any area that somebody has an interest in,
Right.
we can guide them in that direction. And then they'll know that that money will be there because it goes in the endowment, and then all we take is a certain portion of the earnings each year from those endowments, and then that's what we use to make grants. So
Okay.
as their gifts will be there for really till Christ comes back.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it'll be used to impact ministries for years and years to come.
Going back to that legacy, you know, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to leave behind for? I mean, you know, for others to come. That's wonderful. And then speaking of the grants, you know, I love that because I think that's so tangible for people to understand. We are giving out grants with the foundation just to so many different local organizations. I mean, what do we have? Miracle Hill, African Bible Colleges, Front Porch Housing, which is, you know, Front Porch is now, I believe they're kind of, aren't they going to be kind of going off on their own? They already are. They already are on their own. So
Yes.
what a gift to be able to, you know, and that's something some of the folks that are, if you're giving, you could actually go and visit these places and just see how your money really is, and your gifts are helping so many in our community, which is really our role.
I would like to mention that we have a policy where we try to divide up our giving, one third to international,
Right.
1/3 local,
Right.
and then 1/3 within the church.
Okay.
And we
That's a
pretty
great
close to
way.
hit that.
Yeah.
We manage that, of course, but we hit that just about every year.
That's wonderful. That's a great way to distribute it. Bobby, are there any other things that you might want a listener to know about?
You know, really what we want to do, or as because we're affiliated with the church, then
Right.
certainly we want the covenant partners' priority is to give to the ministry budget of the church.
Right.
And then, obviously, we've got a capital campaign that we're still involved with, so that becomes a second priority. And then really is the foundation. At this
Right.
point, we're looking more for legacy gifts. So
Okay.
we want our members to not necessarily worry about supporting us now, although we'd love for them to do that.
Sure.
But really think hard about if you've given to support ministry here at the church or other ministries outside all your life, you can, with a legacy gift to the foundation, you can continue that support through our endowments for years to come. Like we said, long after you're gone. And that's
Right.
the beautiful thing about the foundation and the way it works.
Absolutely. Well, and I have to say personally, thank you, because Fearfully and Wonderfully Made, which is a ministry of the church now too, that helps support, encourage, and equip, empower our friends in the community with special abilities and their families. Y'all have been, we've been a grantee, so to speak. Is that a word? I
Yes.
just like to make up things.
Yes.
That's the
But
correct
thank you.
word.
So thank you, because, and I always say, because of that, our models get to get on the stage and really show off their personality and shine, and it just hopefully empowers them to go out in the community and love other people the same way. So thank you. And again, thank y'all for what you do. You know, if you're listening and you want to know more about the foundation, please visit the website firstpresfoundation.org, or you can give Bobby a call. He loves to talk, and he'll help you out. And then again, if you are maybe just interested, like he said, in leaving a legacy, and really just be prayerful about how God has called you to steward the gifts that he's given you. And, you know, again, thank y'all so much. Is there anything y'all want to add? Or
Just one other comment. Bobby said what he should say, and I'm going to say we're not here to compete with the
No,
church's budget.
yeah, right.
However, knowing because I have 3 younger ones, I should say, that grew up in this church, I know the age group that listens to podcasts
Yeah.
in general, and so that's kind of their age group. And you know, if you're blessed and you're tithing to the church and you're giving as you should, but you have a particularly good year and you feel very blessed, you can do things that
Yes.
support the very ministry that you just mentioned.
Absolutely.
You know, go above and beyond
Yeah.
and make a special gift to the foundation. You don't have to wait to make a legacy
No.
gift, and even the smallest of gifts, because people get a little bit hung up on, well, you know, I don't really have enough to impact.
Sure.
That's not true,
No.
because a lot of people are giving us similar sized gifts, and when you add all those gifts up together, 1,000 here, 250 there,
Right.
5,000 here, they allow us to make substantial grants.
Absolutely.
And we're up over $7 million now, and
Wow.
which gives us about a $350,000 a year budget. But we'd like it
Okay.
to be a lot higher than that.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
every little bit we get helps.
Absolutely. And like Bobby said, if you have a specific area that God is really calling your heart to, whether it be music or international or education, anything like that, they'll help you match that up. So give Bobby a call, visit firstpresfoundation.org, and we look forward to it. And thank you guys again so much.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Michelle, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Michelle, thank you for having special guests with us this week, and it is always good to get a bit of an update on the many ministries we are involved in, and great to hear from the Foundation. Thank you. And as we come to the end of our podcast this week, we finish, as we so often do, by focusing on Sunday. Please give a warm welcome this week to the Osteen family, as Mom and Dad bring Abigail Joanna Osteen for her baptism to the 8:30 service. Siblings James and John and Annalise will also be present. At 10:45, parents Alex and Kennedy Beeson will be bringing Furman Coulter Beeson for his baptism. And baby Sophie Elizabeth Waddell will be accompanied by Mom Jamie, Dad David and sibling Emily Rose for her baptism at the 11 o'clock service. Meanwhile, I trust you have a great weekend, and I look forward to welcoming you on Sunday.